These are the places people were never supposed to return from, but 3 survivors did. And what they saw in those remote corners of the world shouldn't exist. Welcome back to Scare Time Stories. Tonight's video is not just another horror compilation. These are true encounters from some of the most remote and unreachable places on Earth. Places where no one should have been alone. So turn off the lights, put your headphones on, and settle in. Because these are 3 true remote places horror. Stories that will keep you awake long after the rain stops falling outside your window. These are the places people were never supposed to return from, but 3 survivors did. And what they saw out there, deep in the mountains, the desert, and the Arctic, shouldn't exist. I've always loved hiking solo, mostly until the trip that almost ended my life. This happened in 2018, in a part of the Appalachian Mountains the rangers no longer patrol. Not because of wild animals, but because something keeps dragging things into a place called Blackwater Trench. It's a long scar in the earth 20 feet wide, pitch black at the bottom. And something down there moves. I didn't believe the legends. Not until the night I looked into that darkness, and something looked back. I arrived in the late afternoon. Fog was crawling through the trees like slow white smoke, swallowing the trail. I remember thinking how quiet everything was. No birds, no insects, just silence. My first warning should have been the abandoned campsite. Torn tent, sleeping bag dragged toward the trench. Deep claw marks on the tree's marks, too high to be a bear's. At around 10 p.m., after setting up camp, I heard it. A low, wet breathing. Not from the forest, from below me, from the trench. When I pointed my flashlight down, I saw nothing but blackness. But the breathing grew louder, too loud to be human. Around midnight, something touched my tent. Not brushed, pressed, like a hand trying to feel the shape of me. I held my breath. Whatever was outside mimicked my inhale, my exhale. When I finally dared to unzip the tent and shine my light, there was a face staring at me from the trench. A pale, long stretched face 20 feet below, rising upward like it was climbing the darkness itself. It moved without sound. No rope. No movement of arms or legs. Just ascending. I ran. The forest twisted. Fog turned solid. The breathing followed me slow, heavy, steady. At one point, I tripped over a log and rolled. As I got up, I saw it clearly. A tall, crooked body, bones pressing through skin like white branches, and its jaw split open, as if the darkness was pulling it apart. Yet it didn't chase. No, it herded me. Every time I went left, it appeared there. When I veered right, it materialized between the trees. It pushed me back toward the trench. It needed me down there. As I reached the trench edge, I grabbed onto a tree, refusing to get closer. The creature stepped behind me, its fingers brushing my neck. Then I heard voices, hundreds of them, echoing from inside the trench. Join us? We're still alive. It's so cold. Those voices were the missing hikers. The creature leaned over my shoulder and whispered, in a voice that was somehow mine, "Look." When I looked down, I saw pale arms, hundreds of them, reaching up, desperate, starving, clawing at the sides, trying to pull themselves back to the surface, alive, but not human anymore. I threw myself backward, rolling downhill, tearing through brush, hitting rocks. But the creature didn't follow. It didn't need to. At the bottom of the hill, I found marks in the mud, my own boot prints, leading straight into the trench. Even though I was certain, I ran the opposite direction. I made it home alive, barely, but I still hear breathing at night. Not outside my window, under the floorboards. Like something followed me home. There's a road in Utah Route 191 that truckers swear is cursed. They claim a phantom town appears there on moonless nights. A place called Redwater. In 2021, I accidentally drove into it, and I met the people who live there. Or what's left of them. I'd been driving for 18 hours and needed gas badly. The map showed nothing for miles, but then out of nowhere, a cluster of lights appeared. A small town. Gas station, diner, motel. Like a perfect snapshot from the 1950s. I pulled in, but something was wrong. There were people, but they didn't move naturally. The gas station attendant smiled at me. The corners of his mouth kept twitching upward, too wide, too strained. His eyes didn't blink. He told me, "You shouldn't stay long." At the diner, everyone turned to look at me in unison. Same stiff neck rotation. Same wide, strained smile. A woman carrying a baby sat beside me, except the baby wasn't moving, and its eyes were just black pits. I asked, "Is everything okay with your child?" She slowly turned her head and whispered, "We're waiting for the sun." Then, every single person in the diner repeated it. "We're waiting for the sun." Their voices layered, too synchronized, too mechanical. That's when I realized there were no shadows. None of them had shadows. When I tried to leave, I found my car battery dead. The motel owner insisted, "Rooms are free. Just stay till sunrise." His smile didn't change, not even once. Feeling trapped, I checked in. Inside the room, there were no mirrors. And the window? It showed the town perfectly, but not me. I stepped in front of it. Still no reflection. That's when the lights went out. I heard footsteps outside my door, slow, heavy, approaching. I held the doorknob, praying they'd pass. Instead, the knob turned from the other side. As the door creaked open, I shoved my back against the window and fell out. Except I didn't hit the ground. I fell into darkness, into nothing. And then I saw them, hundreds of people, floating in a pitch-black void, their faces frozen in those same stretched smiles, their bodies moving as if pulled by invisible strings. The town wasn't real. It was a shell, a lure, a trap, and something in the darkness was feeding on them, keeping them suspended, forever awake, forever smiling. That thing looked at me, not with eyes, but with a shape, a shifting, massive outline of something ancient. It whispered, "Stay until sunrise." There is no sun here. I woke up lying on the highway shoulder. Truck lights blinding me. The trucker who stopped said, "You're lucky. Most people who see red water don't come back." I turned around. There was no town, just desert. But later, when I reviewed my phone's voice recordings, I found one clip I definitely didn't make. A whisper, still waiting for the sun. I worked at an isolated Arctic weather station with 2 other researchers. No towns for 300 miles. No rescue unless conditions were perfect. In the winter, the sun disappears entirely. And during that darkness, something comes out of the ice. In 2022, we made the mistake of digging too deep. The station was small metal corridors, frost on the ceilings, windows constantly fogged. One morning, our instruments detected movement below the ice sheet. Deep movement. Something massive. At first, we assumed shifting ice or thermal pressure. But then the pattern repeated. 3 taps, a pause. 3 taps, a pause. A rhythm, like knocking. We drilled a test shaft to measure seismic activity. Instead, we found a tunnel, perfectly smooth, melted, not carved. No animal could do that. Around 2 a.m., our generator cut out, not died, shut off. In the silence, we heard something moving beneath the station. Snow shifting, metal creaking, a deep, slow dragging sound. We grabbed our rifles, not that they would help. At 3:14 a.m., Mark, the youngest researcher, opened the door to check the power line. He didn't even step outside before something pulled him into the darkness. One moment he was there, The next, gone. No scream. Just the sound of something massive sliding across the snow. We barricaded the doors, but the tapping started again. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps. Coming from the walls, then the ceiling, then directly under the floor. We checked the tunnel again, hoping Mark escaped there. Instead, we found footprints, but they weren't his. Too large, too spread apart, and each print was shaped like a human hand. We followed the prints into the melting tunnel. Our flashlights flickered as the walls dripped fresh water from deep within the ice. Then the tunnel opened into a cavern filled with bodies, dozens, frozen upright like human sculptures trapped mid-scream. Mark was one of them. His eyes were still moving. He was alive, frozen, conscious, unable to scream. When I approached him, his pupils darted up, behind me. When I turned, something stepped out of the ice wall, human-shaped, too tall. Skin translucent and glowing faint blue, eyes black and hollow. It mimicked my breathing, then my stance, then my voice. Don't run. I fired at it. The bullets passed straight through the body, as if it were made of cold air. But when the creature opened its mouth, every frozen body opened theirs too, screaming silently. I ran, back through the tunnel, back to the station. I sent a Mayday transmission before the creature reached the door. A rescue team found me 2 days later, half conscious, nearly frozen. They said the station was empty. No tunnel, no cavern, no bodies, just wind and snow. But one thing convinced them my story wasn't a hallucination. The recording device in the station captured something during the night. A voice mimicking mine, whispering, "Don't run. If you made it to the end, you're braver than most." Remote mountains, silent deserts, frozen wastelands, these places hide more than we'll ever fully understand. If tonight's video kept you looking over your shoulder, then you're exactly the kind of person we want in this community. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon so you never miss a late-night upload. Comment below which story chilled you the most, and of course, like the video so more horror fans can find it. Your support helps this channel grow and lets me keep bringing you terrifying true stories every single week. Sleep well, if you still can.